I got two candidates to be the next Anthony Richardson right after the stinger. It's Felix Sharpe at Sharpe Review on Twitter for CampusToCan.com. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel so you never miss any of our content. And if you are watching this video, you got to be a college football fan, so you need to check out CampusToCan.com and learn what a Campus to Canton League is. I'm going to put a link right in the description box down below. Thinking about Anthony Richardson, obviously for the last 3 years, if you've been following any of our content, a guy that I've been touting since that Cotton Bowl, when he was playing wide receiver in the slot and then played a little bit of quarterback against Oklahoma back in, 2020. I think it was evident from Anthony Richardson, since he was coming into college, that he would be the best athlete on the field at the quarterback position anytime he set foot on the field. I think, as a matter of fact, I think he would have had a better season last year had Dan Mullen still been the head coach. Listen, I know that there's, talk about Dan Mullen losing the locker room and recruiting and all that, but Dan Mullen was a damn good play caller. Billy Napier, in my opinion, did not use Anthony Richardson to his strengths. That's neither here nor there for this video, but I think that there are two candidates in college football who could be this year or in the coming years the next Anthony Richardson. One is Robbie Ashford, transferring from Oregon to Auburn, inserted as the starter at Auburn last year. And you think about that Dan Mullen, Anthony Richardson dynamic. There's a similar dynamic between Hugh Freeze and Robbie Ashford. Robbie Ashford, uber athletic, size-adjusted athlete who struggles with accuracy but has the big arm. Well, how do you help a quarterback who struggles with accuracy? You get some wide receivers running wide open. Say what you want about Hugh Freeze. He's going to have some guys running wide open in the secondary. Can Robbie Ashford hit them? Now, I know that Peyton Thorne is there, but as of SEC Media Days, Hugh Freeze said that he had not seen Peyton Thorne throw the football. I mean, when I look at the difference between these two, Peyton Thorne, kind of a more milquetoast vanilla version of the offense, and Robbie Ashford, if he can get it together with his accuracy, he presents a much higher ceiling. I mean, and the other thing is Peyton Thorne we've got to remember, he's a post-spring transfer. Robbie Ashford has been there. He knows the terminology. He's months ahead on the playbook. Peyton Thorne's going to come in here in training camp and try to get the job in a few weeks. I think Robbie Ashford gets the first crack at it. I think that there's a, 51% chance that he's the starter. Yeah, I do think we could see both of them, but I just don't think that you can take Robbie Ashford off the field when he's one of your best offensive players there at Auburn. So I think we see him. Let me know in the comments what you think. The other candidate, let's go to South Carolina, to the Gamecocks. 6'4", 245 pounds, the freshman Lenoris Sellers, a 3-star going there. I have no idea how he's a 3-star, suffered with injury there in high school, but really popped his senior year. I think he had like 3,000 yards passing, only 4 interceptions. Lenoris Sellers is a monster. I think that he is a little bit ahead of where Anthony Richardson was as a passer at this time in his development. Again, 6'4", 245 pounds. They just had the weights come out for South Carolina. We saw the spring game, Lenoris Sellers throwing the ball vertically downfield. That spring game was live. The threes were live on for the South Carolina spring game. So he could be tackled. He was a difficult player to deal with defensively, all of that size, all of that speed, and the ability to throw the ball downfield. I think he is another candidate to be an Anthony Richardson type. And when I think about Lenoris Sellers and what he offers is composed to Spencer Rattler, I compare it to Tim Tebow and Chris Leak. If you're old enough to remember Tim Tebow and Chris Leak, Tim Tebow was the All-American recruit. Chris Leak was there at Florida, but even in his freshman season, Tim Tebow was brought in around the red zone to run quarterback dives, to run that Tim Tebow jump pass that he made famous. But when you think about it, coaches love to have the quarterback run the ball in the red zone because you get plus numbers with your offensive line when the quarterback is the runner, as opposed to if the quarterback is handing the ball off, then you're down one. I think that we could see that sort of dynamic this year for Lenore Sellers. When they get to the red zone, we're going to be conservative. We're going to run quarterback dive. We're going to run quarterback sneak, quarterback sweep with our 6'4", 240-pound running quarterback who runs like a running back, built like a fullback, in Lenore Sellers. I think we could see that. The other thing about Lenore Sellers, he wears the glasses underneath his helmet. This dude is absolutely going to be a face of college football if he pops with that old school look one day. Lenore Sellers, Robbie Ashford, two candidates that I have to be the next Anthony Richardson. Let me know what you think about those two guys in the comments. And again, if you haven't checked out CampusToCanton.com, you got to check it out. You got to play Campus to Canton fantasy leagues. All right, till the next one. Peace. Like the video.